I guess we should tackle the Flash, right? I mean, might as well. I mean, there was a Flash announced. Is this the final gem of the DCEU, right? Because everything's about to change apparently. So, yeah, I'll pull it up. So I was going to pull it up on Comic Concepts because I posted an announcement like I, made a deal with Comic Concepts. So basically I'll be working with them. So basically I'll be able to promote them, and that this will be something you'll see on the streams. It really won't change anything about the content whatsoever. I'll just pull up their website a little bit more. And you can see basically the difference, $279 versus Sideshow. You pay shipping and tax, and there's a $10 discount from Comic Concepts, or at least $5, something like that. So nonetheless, this Flash is out there, right? Pretty cool base, 2 head sculpts, a lot of cool accessories, right? You get a lot of cool stuff with him. This is the last Ezra Miller you're probably going to get, I would assume. So we're going to see the film supposedly has been getting like pretty mixed reviews as far as the critics, but people have been loving it. Like general audiences have been absolutely loving it. So I want to ask the question, Kiko, is this the final gem of the DCEU? Because supposedly the film is pretty exciting. There's a lot of cool fan service apparently, and I do like the suit. I personally have no interest in this, Kiko, but I think people will. What do you think?
People will inevitably be tied to it because it's a really cool suit and it's a iconic DC figure. But I do think this is just a flash in the pan, pun intended, is that I don't see this being critically revered as, man, this was the Infinity War of the DCU. This was the end game of the DCU to where, it signed off and boy, it ended with a bang. And I wish we could have gotten more Snyderverse, this, blah, blah, blah. And let me just go on and say, I don't give a hoot who is in the suit. Okay. Don't give a hoot who's in the suit.
I like that.
Thank you. Is that we have to stop this idea. Well, I just can't give any money. That's Ezra Miller. His personal problems. We can't do it.
Yeah.
This isn't my friend. This isn't anybody that I'm not condoning any of his behavior or anything like that. But you need to separate the intellectual property from the person or whatever. If you are a fan of the Flash or whatever, go get the damn figure. All right. Don't let someone that's virtue signaling saying you can't collect this with a good conscience. Get the figure if you like it. It's the Flash. If that's the best suit you're going to get, go for it. You don't have to put on the Ezra Miller head if you're really feeling that convicted about it. This is a comic book portrayal. Go for it. I think as far as a figure, it's really cool. And they've really stepped up their bases recently over the past few releases. I've been really pleased with that. I love the opportunities for posability. I've saw a lot of different things online saying this is the way the Spider-Man 2099 suit should have been. Just because look at the posability with something that's a restrictive suit. I agree. And from an artistic standpoint, I think that they absolutely captured the likeness 100% of what is on the screen. So if you are wanting this piece, don't let anyone tell you not to get it. If you don't feel the piece, or if you don't feel the piece, don't get it. It's that simple. I do not think it's going to be like the final thing to where everyone's like, oh, this is the last one. This is the grail, the definitive version, blah, blah, blah. I feel I've not seen the film myself. I read reviews. I'm positively skeptical. I'm trying to go in with some happy endorphins going in there to where I'm not going to be blinded by a lot of negativity out there. I feel like it's going to be a mess just because there's nothing, there's nothing after this and there's nothing that led to this. So it's probably just going to be a lot of member berries and berry, pun again. So I guess we'll see how it goes. But if this is your figure, get the figure. Don't let people sway you. That's all I can say. 100%.
I'm with you though, Kiko, as far as the figure. I like the light up articulate, in the chest, the light up feature in the chest. The base is awesome, like you said. The head sculpt is good. The suit, this is the coolest Flash Ezra Miller suit that they've done so far, no doubt about it, in any of the films. So this one's really, really, this is definitely a cool Flash suit. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. The texture and the material looks really cool too. It looks really intricate and detailed. So I really like how this looks. This looks pretty awesome. So, but for me, I just don't really care that much about the character. It's hard for me. I may be on an island on this one. It's a little bit harder to get excited for DC stuff right now because it's just all over the place. Like it's kind of like they're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. And that's why I've been excited to see what James Gunn is going to do. He might totally come in and fuck it up, but I want to see some consistency and I want to see a little bit more of a plan, I guess. But that said, Marco, what do you think, man? Is this the final gem of the DCEU? Because the poll right now is pretty interesting. 72% of collectors, 70 now, are saying that they're not going to get the Flash. What do you think?
Yeah, the final gem of the DCEU is a really interesting question.
Mhm.
I still hold out hope that they may do one more Aquaman. I think most folks will
Yeah.
probably forget about that film, but I'm still holding out that maybe that'll be the the final feather in the cap for the DCEU. But I will say I think that this figure looks terrific. Now, all the problems aside with the actor, they are problematic, right? There's a lot of allegations. So that did give me some pause. I was like, do I want this representation in my collection? But at the end of the day, I think Kiko's right. You're collecting the characters and maybe not necessarily the artists that portray those characters. At least that's how I decided to view it. So I think Flash is one of those characters that I didn't really follow via comics or any type of media as a kid, but I had a bunch of Flash like memorabilia, like figures. All I knew about the Flash was that they went fast and they looked cool. That was really all that I knew about Flash, but it was still like one of my favorite characters growing up. So I think that this is really true to like the comic accurate outfit, right? I think this design is exactly what I would have wanted. I do like the Justice League version, but I think this is a bit more in line with what I would collect in terms of if I'm building out a Justice League. Now, I am just a Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman away from having a full Justice League team. So I plan on picking up that Cyborg here pretty soon, and I have no problem with mixing and matching. So I think this Flash is going to be a perfect representation in my collection for my Justice League, and I'm incredibly excited for the film. I think it's going to be a banger, honestly. Andy Muschietti did it, right? That's your boy.
Yep. Yep. Great
So
director,
so
bro.
I've got a lot of faith that he's going to put out a really competent, fun film. So cannot wait to see it next week. And yeah, I'm already. It is a bit scary buying this and the Michael Keaton Batman already. Pre-ordering them already without having seen the film. But I think just for their coolness factor alone, I'm kind of comfortable just going all in on this film. So yeah, hopefully Hot Toys doesn't announce any more from this film. Give me a pause until I see it, please.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, what about, do you guys think people need to pre-order this Flash if they do want it? I mean, it's a very interesting time that we're in, Like it's I don't know what to believe anymore in as far as wait lists or fake wait list or whatever the case. So I don't know. I mean, people seem to overall be thinking that I mean, it's kind of getting closer now in the poll, but there's some people that do want this. If the film comes out as good as some people have said it is, though, I think you could have that poll start to shift the other direction. I
Yeah,
think if you could
yeah.
have, I think you could have a lot of people very excited. But I think you are right, Kiko, which I think is going to be fine. Because I mean, look, I love No Way Home. I know it's not, you think it's okay, right? But No Way Home is a lot of member berries too. Like, let's be real about it. But it works. And I think that's what Flash is going for also. It's going to pretty much go for the same type of feel. And I think it's going to work because Member Berries gets people. And I think overall, like you said, Marco, Andy Muschietti is a really good director. And I think they got a pretty strong cast. They're bringing Michael Keaton back, obviously, which is a huge selling point of this film for most people. So I think at the end of the day, people could really want this Flash if the film is as good. I mean, I know Chris Stuckman's review, and I've seen other reviewers just say this film is awesome. So
Heck yeah.
so
Can I
yeah,
can I say though, if they don't do a Supergirl, we will riot.
I
They
think they
have to do a
will. Yeah, I
Supergirl.
think they will. Yeah.
I would assume so. They've already got the technology in place, right? They already know how to do a Superman suit. So
Right, right. I think they will. I think they will. And there's going to be some surprises in the film from what I'm understanding. So there's probably going to be other I think this could be a deep line. And this is probably a deeper line than Hot Toys tends to go for DC figures, but you're going to get every Batman that's reasonable for them to make. You're going to get that, and then you're going to get maybe some accessories, and then I don't know, you might only get one Flash. I don't know. We'll see. But they'll probably make Supergirl, they'll probably make some other, maybe they'll make another Zod. I don't know. But that Zod didn't sell well originally, so um I don't know if they'll want to revisit that, but nonetheless, I'm excited for the film too. I'm excited to see what this line. I think there's going to be a lot of fun surprises, so it'd be cool. Anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below about this Flash film and this Flash figure. I think it's pretty cool.